Have you ever had a vision or a goal that you set and you wanted to accomplish it so bad? And at one point, you had all this fire, you had all this, energy for it, and you were making moves and things were going and you were so excited about it. But what ended up happening was a few days turned into a few weeks, turned into a few months, turned into a few years, and nothing ended up happening. The fire died a long time ago. And maybe in your life you've stopped and you're like, wow, what happened? I had all these goals, I wanted to accomplish things, and here I am, I'm still doing the same thing. Now if that's you, I want to share with you some keys to success, some things that I've learned just through my own experience and through helping other people that have been able to help myself and others break free of those chains, break free of those bad mental programs that got in the way, that clouded the vision and caused something that was clear to be unfocused. And we've been able to remove all of that and get crystal clear, super focused. Well, those keys are very crucial, so I really want you to pay attention to what I'm going to share with you. Number one thing I'm going to tell you is how you do one thing is how you do everything. And when things slow down in your life, it's a good time to start asking yourself why. Be responsible, be accountable. What is it that I'm doing or not doing that's equaling this lack of results or these bad results? What is it? I always tell people, listen, you should clean your place and be very tidy. And start being meticulous about that. Be disciplined in having a clean environment. And, some people might think, oh, having a clean place, what does that have to do with anything? Well, it has everything to do with everything. Again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if you are living in an environment that isn't clean and tidy, guess what also is happening? You see, the place that you live is also a representation of what's going on in your mind. And one of the things that I found about successful people is they are meticulously tidy and clean. I've never gone to a very successful, wealthy person's place and seen a pigsty or a mess. It's always well kept, well put together. Things are neat and in order. And by having that discipline, by having that focus, that energy towards, being proper, it also does something to your chemistry in your brain. Because it shows yourself that you respect yourself. I've also noticed that people who take care of their health also tend to have a lot more success because you have more energy. Because you have more energy, you have more productivity. When you're more productive, you produce more. And you have better connections. You're feeling better. It affects everything. So taking the time, energy, and effort to be healthy, to go to the gym at least half an hour a day, maybe even an hour. An hour would be great, but whatever it is for you. And maybe you might be suffering from some sort of physical ailment. There's always something that you can do to exercise and to make moves towards being healthier, right? We've got to remember that what we put into our body really affects everything in our body, right? Crappy food equals crappy mood. High energy food equals a high energy dude, right? Now you can write that one down. You can tell it to your mom later. I know that was super funny, right? Anyways, awkward moment over. I just wanted to break the ice up a little bit here. So next thing I want to help you understand is, when you start cleaning up your environment, it's a good idea to start taking a look at the people you surround yourself with. There's this old cliche saying, you're like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So who are you spending your time with? Are these people go-getters, go-givers? Are they the type of people who are out there making moves, taking action, being ambitious? Are they the type of people who are having meetings and booking meetings and making things big and powerful in their business? Are they always being ingenuitive and intelligent? Are they masterminding? Are they the type of people who are having great relationships? Are they the type of people who are striving to be better and better every day? Or are they the same person now that they were 6 months ago, that they were a year ago, that they were 2 years ago, and so on and so forth? If that's the case, I'm just going to make a recommendation that you might want to start looking to change your circle of friends. And if you're not sure where to go or who to start talking to, well, go pick up a personal development book. Read something by Tony Robbins, or read something by Jim Rohn, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. There's so many amazing books. I could just go and list off that can change things, because remember, we're going to be a different person because of the people that we meet and the books and the information that we read, right? So if you're choosing to put good media, good information into your brain, it's going to have a compound effect. I promise you. It's absolutely going to start to work towards better results in your life. You might not see it now, but compound over time. Give it 6 months, give it a year, give it 2 years. The results are extraordinary what starts to happen. I know what personal development has done in my life. So, when you start looking at your associations, it's a very important thing to start identifying also what could be blocking you. And I've noticed that there's really 4 things that really start to hinder people. Addictions. Doesn't matter whether it's sex, drugs, or rock and roll, or, you name it. It could be just on Facebook too much social media. Trying to get all the likes for every single post and seeing how many people will like your post. You're wasting your time. You're literally wasting very, very precious, valuable time and very precious, valuable mental real estate. You only have so many hours in a day, and you want to put those thoughts towards something productive. So if you're focusing on things that are addictive in nature, what's happening is it's just occupying too much mental real estate, too much of your thought life. Too much energy that you could be putting towards your goals, your success. Are you watching TV too much? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with TV, but there absolutely is with watching it all day long. You shouldn't be sitting there on a regular, schedule for TV. That's your life. You're just throwing into a tube. You should be spending that time reading or having good relationships and good conversations and going and doing healthy and productive things. But watching too much social media, too much TV is very detrimental, and especially in today's day and age. There's a huge learning curve with technology and the internet that a lot of people need to start getting on, because the internet is not going anywhere. You want to be masterful in what you're doing, because 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, it's coming for you, all right? You're going to be here. And what are you going to be when you're there, right? What you start to set your mind upon is what activities and things that you're going to be doing when you're there at that point in time down the road. So making sure that you're spending that time wisely, not focusing on addictions. And the real key is to just focus on integrity. If you're dealing with an addiction, just get real with yourself, identify it. Don't be afraid to ask for help if it's with drugs or alcohol. There's plenty of people who can help support you and give you the advice and the guidance that you need in order to break free from that. But another very powerful key to overcoming addictions is to understand your own values, right? If you're really, really clear on your goal and dream, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, and you're clear on it, then guess what happens? All of a sudden those addictions, they don't really start to come into play anymore, because you are making moves towards your life goal, your vision. And when you're making moves, addictions, what? They don't even exist anymore, because you're too focused. You're making moves. See, we need to be producing. That's a big thing with our lives. We really need to be productive. Without being productive, the old saying, idle hands are the devil's playground. So you want to make sure that you don't have idle hands. Don't waste your time. And it can sneak up on you in so many little ways where, maybe you had a slight moment where, you were just relaxing. Maybe relaxing turned into, being tempted to do something that would be self-sabotaging. Stay away from that. There's support. Reach out to somebody. Now, another really damaging thing that can hold people back would be in a negative relationship, or again surrounding yourself with negative people. But I've seen it happen so many times where people are in the wrong relationship. They got into the relationship for the wrong reasons, because they got into that relationship at the wrong time, and that relationship was a reflection of who they were maybe at that time. But sometimes it happens in relationships where two people aren't growing together, they're sort of growing apart. And one of the most powerful things I could say is, if you're not married, really scrutinize and identify, is this relationship working? Is it going to work? And can we make it work? But sometimes it doesn't. So that would be a good idea to start maybe, I'm going to leave that one up to you, but you really should powerfully ask yourself that powerful question. What is this relationship doing for me? Is it helping me? Is it hurting me? A relationship should be two people serving each other humbly and really going and believing in each other and, you know, balancing each other out. It's a push-pull dynamic. It's incredible when you have a good relationship, and everybody can have a great relationship. So don't let a negative relationship ruin or destroy or dictate or define your life. You're bigger than that. You are much stronger, and your relationship should not be holding you back from accomplishing your goals and dreams. Don't allow fear to parade itself in the form of a partner. Now, the last thing, two more things I want to talk about is when you're being a victim, right? If you're being a victim, which means you're just not being accountable, you're blaming everybody other than yourself. If you're doing that, then you're not ponying up to it. You know, you're not manning up to the results that you're not getting in your life, and it's a humbling thing. But when you really own it, you're like, you know what? I'm not getting the results that I want to have in my life, and it's my fault, right? There's not enough money. It's my fault. Blame yourself and accept it, and that way you can start to grow. It doesn't mean that who you are is wrong. It's not something to be ashamed of. See, shame is a tool of the enemy. It tells you that who you are is wrong. But guilt says, you know what? Maybe what I did was wrong, or what I'm doing isn't right. So there's room to grow there. And being a victim is just blaming everybody else, right? So if you decide to flip that around and say, I'm responsible for the results I'm not getting, or the results that I am getting, and I'm accountable, I'm going to make changes, I'm going to make things better, I'm going to keep working, I'm going to get through this, then you're in ownership, and that is a very empowering place to be. And the last thing is being too proud to ask for help, right? Sometimes we just need to ask for help, and it's a huge game changer when you can do that, because there's always a hand out there. Believe it. It's incredible what happens when you start to reach out and say, ask people, you know, how can I accomplish XYZ? How can I get to this? How can I work on this relationship? How can I improve my skills in this? Whatever it is, asking that powerful question, how can I, is a real game changer. Remember, if you've ever seen the Cash Flow Quadrant by Robert Kiyosaki, where he talks about, you know, the employment and self-employment mindset, and he talks about the business owner and investor mindset. You know, first of all, employees and self-employees, they are, you know, slaves to their own, you know, job. They're trading time for money, right? But when you're a business owner, you're leveraging off of other people's efforts, and you're essentially trading your money for time. And it's a better side to be on the equation. But what happens is they also have the opposite mindset. You know, generally speaking, people who are working as employees will generally tend to have more of a negative or closed-minded mindset. Generally, not everybody, but a lot do. I mean, I've been an employee as well, and I remember, you know, the conversations just seemed to really never go anywhere, and it wasn't really productive. It was all just circular. But when I started meeting more business owners and investors, the mindset was so completely different. It was literally like the opposite, always opportunistic, and how can I, and super positive, and, you know, taking action and being productive. So if you're ever stuck in a rut, you want to find a way to get out of it. The first thing you want to do is take a look inside. What's going on here in your heart, in your mind, what's going on in your soul, where's the trouble? Because your outside results come from what's going on the inside. So I'll leave you with that. Have an awesome day. I hope you got some value from this. If you like this video, go ahead, share with your friends.